Meeting at 6:30 PM. Welcome, everyone. And we are going to kick this thing off. And so Jordyn, our new staff liaison, would you like to take the role?
Yes, I would. So Chair Tom Sonnek,
Present?
Vice Chair Carey Nadeau,
Here.
Commissioner Amanda Black,
Here.
Commissioner Sharon Clark-Williams,
Here.
and then Commissioner Raquel Soto is absent, and so is Commissioner Laura Strang, and then Council Liaison Troy Woods.
Here.
Nice job, Jordyn.
Thank you.
And staff, our staff liaison, Jordyn Lehman. Welcome. I missed you on the first meeting. I was in rehearsal, but good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get going. We're going to start by adopting the agenda. Everyone had a chance to take a look at this, and do you have any questions about our agenda for tonight? Anything you want to change or add?
I just want to clarify, just in case somebody were to see this, that the veteran utility box wasn't exactly on hold. I was sick, and so nothing had proceeded
On the minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, we're on the agenda. I'm sorry.
that's
The
okay.
agenda's
We'll-
great.
We'll grab that. So everyone okay? Got a motion to approve adopt the agenda?
I move to adopt.
Carrie, thanks.
Second.
Second, Amanda. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is adopted. Approval of minutes. So, okay, so Sharon, you had a question. I saw that in the minutes, so you just weren't here. So not that it's on hold. Is it?
Yeah, what had happened was nothing had been moving forward because I was sick for about 6 or 7 weeks there, so.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't want anybody to see that and think like we weren't going to do it.
So could we, Jordyn, get a minor change on that then? So I think, where is it? Okay. Commissioner Clark-Williams stated that the Veterans Utility Box is currently on hold. How would you like that to read, Sharon?
I guess what I was, that the status was unchanged at that point.
Okay. The status is unchanged for the Veterans Utility Box. Any other questions or changes for the minutes? All right, we'll look for a motion to approve the minutes with that change recommended by Commissioner Clark-Williams.
Move to approve with that change.
Second?
Second by Sharon. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, minutes approved with that change. Thanks, Jordyn. Okay, meeting open to the public, nobody here. Commission business action items. Okay, so election of a student commissioner. Carey, do you want to take the lead on this? So you met this student, right?
With Jordyn.
With Jordyn?
Yes, Ued Orozco. He's a wonderful young man, very excited to get involved in civil service and giving back to his community. So I was really impressed with him. His essay, I think, speaks for itself. He's got a great letter of recommendation from his AP Social Studies teacher. I think all we need to do is do an official vote on yay or nay. Any
And
questions?
a ninth grader.
Yes.
Wow.
Very.
And taking AP classes already. And frankly, no offense to his teacher, but I thought the student's letter was almost better written than the
mean,
teacher's letter.
You said it, not me.
Yeah. No offense, Mr. Knudsen. But yeah, anything else? Any questions about it? So, the interview went well, you're impressed, we like his letter and everything, so we just have to take a vote for a recommendation to the council for the student commissioner, and then the student commissioner then would be able to join us probably in March, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts, questions, concern? What's his name again?
Ued?
Ued.
He's on, what is it? Student council with
Yeah.
CC, so he knows CC,
What,
our previous commissioner.
what year is Cece? Is she a senior?
She's a
this year?
senior,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, good for her that she's a senior. Just- It'll be sad when she's gone.
One more step to the presidency.
That's right.
All right, so we just need to take a vote then, Jordyn? Okay. Does somebody want to make a motion to recommend UED as our next student commissioner?
So moved.
I don't, can Troy
Can I?
make that
I
motion?
don't know. Maybe I
I
can.
think you're non-voting,
Oh, I'm not a,
so I'm not 100% sure.
I haven't gone to my training.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Sharon will make a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to have UED I don't know how to say the middle name, Garcia as our student representative to the city's
Orozco.
Arts and Culture Commission.
Okay, we have a second?
Second.
Amanda? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Nobody? You, Ed, we hope to see you here in March.
Yay!
Awesome. Okay, subcommittee updates. So, and I saw from the minutes from the last meeting that there was some possible additions to one of the subcommittees. So I'm just going to run through. So the public art project, I think we had the sub-team leads there is Raquel and Laura with a question mark. And so I don't know, I thought somebody said that they wanted to be added to.
Laura with a question mark was, I think, us in December thinking maybe Laura would want to, not Laura saying she would.
Oh, good memory.
Right,
Whi-
that's
Which
what I was
doesn't mean that she can't, but I just want to make sure that
Right.
she's not just thrown into it. But I think, Carey, you wanted to be a part of the public art, didn't you?
Okay, yeah, that sounds great.
I'm not going to throw you either,
No,
but I'm
that's-
thinking
I
on the minutes.
Literally cannot remember what I did 2 minutes ago. And I know Raquel mentioned today she wanted to do something.
So, yeah, I saw something in the,
Oh, Raquel said she has a note to be added to the Public Art Committee, remain on the Art Cart Committee, and happy to help in other places too.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and this does say, yeah, Vice Chair Nadeau and Commissioner Strang both noted interest in the subcommittee.
Oh, great.
So
Okay,
yes,
on which one?
on the public arts.
Oh, okay, so Strang and Nadeau. And so we have, Commissioner Black noted that Commissioner Soto was interested in joining the subcommittee and she was, I already had her down here for. Okay, so we've got Raquel, Laura, and Carey,
Fun.
public art. And I was just looking, I'm jumping ahead here, but because it's not on our, budget updates is on here, but I noticed the all of our budget came through as requested.
Yes.
Except the only thing that was half the amount, it was included in our budget, but it was the art nights. I thought we had requested 5,000 and it's listed here as 2,500.
I think that's because we were anticipating doing 9 art nights.
Oh.
And Ava and the city staff thought that would maybe be too many
Okay.
or competing with other city events. So they were recommending us keeping to what, 5 to 6 art
Okay.
nights?
6, I think. is what we
6,
landed on.
okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of events here.
So,
Okay. All right, so we've got, and no updates on this then, or are there, on public art project?
no, I think we were
Okay.
waiting to make a
So
committee and then we'll,
Yeah, so maybe if this committee wants to try and meet in the next month or something, and,
sounds good, we'll do it.
okay. And then murals, so Carey or Sharon, do you want to take this one? So I know there's been a lot of discussion around the North St. Paul Historical Society.
Yeah, one of the things that was able to kind of lay a foundation for before she left was connecting with Sue Springborn, who I think is the recently former executive director of the Historical Museum in North St. Paul. And Sue was sitting on, she called me on the phone, and she said, yeah, I was sitting on the bench outside the museum, and I was looking at the building, and it's just boring. It would be great to have a mural there.
Yeah.
She said the one thing that she's concerned about is there are 2 windows on that wall, but I think any enterprising artist could overcome that challenge.
Sure.
So I said, hey, do you have an artist in mind that you would like us to see if we can work with? And she really enjoyed her snowy artist, Rachel. She said Rachel actually knew more than she did about Henry Castle, which is not.
Really? Wow.
Exactly, that was my reaction too. So I contacted Rachel. She is not a muralist and did not think this would be a good fit for her, but she gave me a list of names. She was recently on a panel looking at muralists for a City of Minneapolis project. So she gave me a bunch of names and actually had a person that she recommended. Actually, Tom, this artist just did a mural project at the White Bear Center for the Arts.
Is this the one that you sent me?
Yeah.
With the picture, faces?
Faces, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So that was the one that Rachel suggested. So we have a meeting scheduled for the next Historical Society Museum board meeting coming up in a couple weeks. I think Tom and Sharon are able to go. I'm going to try to be able to be there because they had some questions about how this would work. But we measured the wall. Public Works measured the wall. We've got a
Oh, they
ballpark,
did? Okay.
yeah, a
Good.
ballpark idea for commission fee, so it feels like it's moving along.
Do
Yeah.
they know what they'd like up there?
I think that's part of what we'll be talking about with them, yeah.
And so, I just wondered, do we need to revisit anything as far as our, obtaining our artists for these things and how we select an artist or the artwork or, so especially when we're working with something, I mean, it's not, I mean, it's basically a private business, right? Because the Historical Society isn't run by the city. And so it's probably a 501c3 or something.
I don't know.
But it's independent of the city,
Is it?
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a nonprofit.
Nonprofit, yeah. So, so if it's, so if we're working with some, so, are we expecting them to chip in any of the cost on this? Or is it, or do we want to look at things differently if we're working with a nonprofit? Or, you know what I mean? Because what
Yeah.
we've done, so the two murals we've done so far are on city property. So, and I think that when we had talked before, when we're engaging with businesses, private businesses, that we would work with them to cover the cost of the mural. So on this one, should we, I think it's good for us to do our due diligence here to talk about, do we want to ask the Historical Society to participate in the cost of this, or do we look at it differently because they're a nonprofit?
I'd also be interested, not just for this project, but future ones. If you're planning on a call for art rather than finding artists
Right.
specific.
Yeah,
I know
that-
we kind of rushed through with the one on the
Exactly.
garbage thing,
Yeah,
because we wanted to get that one done. But
yeah. That was my thinking as well. So with the artist, do we want to just, are we appointing someone or are we going through a selection process?
Yeah.
I think in general, what it sounds to me like you're saying is there needs to be a outline and described overall policy of how we proceed with, if we have X type of project, we'll proceed this way. If we have Y type of project, we will proceed this way. And I think that that is a good methodology to use to have set in place rather than backtracking to it.
And we know, I mean, we've done this. I mean, we've created some documents and some policies for these types of things, particularly when we were looking at businesses. Remember last year?
Yep.
You know, so we drafted a lot of language about this, but I don't think we contemplated working with a nonprofit organization. So maybe that's something we could add to whatever documentation we have. Because I think we put something forward to the city staff last year for the sake of considering getting something going with a private business. So we may need to consider that a little further.
Yeah, you know, and I asked for a list of public buildings in North St. Paul. Because Troy, you live across the street from a public building, right? Isn't that little,
What is that thing
what
right
is
by
that
you?
next to
It's
you?
owned by Northern City Power.
Oh,
Oh,
Xcel Energy.
okay, so that's not a public
So
building.
It's gas. It's a gas pump station.
Wouldn't it be
That's
great to have a mural on it?
I don't know what this thing is.
I don't,
it looks, it's funny, it's like a whole cinder block, like tiny house or something.
it looks like
a
it should be a
little house, but
Is
house.
it
Yeah.
that
Not a
tan
house.
thing on
I think so.
Not
South?
tan,
On
it's
the corner
gray.
of South and Henry.
South? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like brownish, tannish.
Yeah, they just repainted it.
Oh, okay.
Last year, I think, so.
So that would probably have to be a collaboration with, it's Northern XL, yeah. Mhm.
Anyway, I was hoping there'd be more public buildings, because I love the dumpster building project, but it sounds like there are no more public buildings, and we've been asked to not put any more art up on any public buildings in the city. So I think we're gonna have to come up with a plan for handling nonprofit or for-profit moving forward, because it sounds like our city options have concluded.
Or you look into temporary murals.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Well, I think, you know, there's got to be some opportunities with some of these businesses. And I mean,
Yep.
in the Historical Society, I think is a great opportunity too. So I think it's just, I think we have to go back to getting that word out with some of these businesses. You know, that that thing that we drafted last year and say, hey, maybe we deliver this around town and say, hey, if people are interested, we've got budget again for 2025. Would love to work with you if you're interested, and check out some of the other art around town that's been done. Because did we ever even distribute that last year? I think we only got it to a couple people that we were thinking
Yeah.
that were interested.
I think so, yeah.
Well, also, there's the opportunity to, once it's all consolidated in one document, to publish it on the city website.
Sure, yeah.
Under the Arts and Culture Commission.
Yeah,
So we need to brush up our document
We
and,
could have, like a page within our Arts and Culture Commission page on the website for opportunities.
yeah?
Yes.
And it would include something like this, like opportunities for businesses and then opportunities for artists.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And-
that's a great idea.
There be anything done along the, like the Gateway Trail?
Well,
Yes.
we've always wanted to do that, so
Okay.
that just requires, we
Is that
need
the
some help from the city
county?
staff, because that would probably be the state.
Oh, the
and it's
state?
Not the
Okay.
county. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not the city.
It's a
Right.
DNR trail.
Yeah.
Okay.
but I was thinking along 36. I mean, how cool would that be? I love that opportunities page. And when I was talking with Ava, it sounds like they're redoing the city website this year.
Oh, really?
So there might be
Working on it
some,
right now. Yes.
some opportunities there to build out a bigger presence for us, which would be great. I'm always sad when I don't see our little square on all the squares.
Jordyn, would that be something you could take back to the staff, to have an opportunities page under the ACC on the city's website?
I can ask about that, yeah.
That'd be great, thank you.
And then it can be something that's floating where when we don't have any opportunities, it can say something about no opportunities at this time, check back later.
Yep. Brilliant.
So then, so mural subcommittee, Sharon and Carey, should we try and get together in the next few weeks to try and look at our document and,
We have to.
yeah. My time opens up after this week. Okay. Utility boxes is up next. So Laura and Sharon. Sharon, did you have any update now on the utility boxes?
What could I say? Yes and no. I mean, part of it was the discussion that we had here was already, we need a selection process for the artists because I found people, but yet, how do we go forward? And Laura and I need to get together to discuss the budget because there are 3 concepts in process. When I look back to see how much was spent last year doing the box for North High, it was $1,800. So we've got 2 definite go-aheads, and then we wanted to do the Roddies. That money has to be enough to cover all 3. And that
Okay.
was $1,800 without an artist and with just a stipend. And then I believe C put it together, the photograph and everything, so that the company could create the wrap, and it was only 1 box. So then that's when I said, oh, okay, that's how much this costs. We really need to. So when she is feeling better, we will get together and discuss how that money is going to be.
So we have 3 on, in consideration for this year?
Yes,
So
there was
which ones are they?
there was the one in front of Roddy's. That
Okay.
was the original.
Right.
But then we got sidetracked with the heart hands.
And
And
where's
then-
that going? Is that going by Casey?
By Casey,
Okay.
across the street. And then there's the box at the Veterans Park.
Okay.
We'd like to get that done for the anniversary celebration in August.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, so when I was going through my own little bulleted checkpoint list, I realized, no, we got to get this down to some finer detail before we jump
Yeah.
out and commit to people and say,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the, is Roddy's back in it now? Are they engaging with
No,
this? Or?
no, there's
Okay.
been no conversation, there's
Okay.
been no nothing since before the Heart Hands, but nobody voted to take it out of the running, so I can't very well on my own say
Gotcha, okay.
that's a no-go.
Okay, so we're looking, I'm gonna just take a note of this. So we got, we have Casey, that's the Heart Hands. Then we've got Veterans Park. And we don't have a design or anything for that one yet, right?
No, we need to know the money and then, but I've got everything planned out.
Great. Okay, great, well, there's a good plan in place so far, I mean,
Right, the money is I think, once we know how much money is available for each thing, and then we can move.
yeah. Okay.
I don't like to commit and then have to beg.
Yeah, right. Well, I think chances are likely that if you go a little over, but that we can pull from something else,
Okay.
right? So, I mean, and I think, but it sounds like, the Heart Hands seems like that's one that's well on its way, and Veterans Park is one we definitely want to do.
Yes,
So even if we get those two, and then we kind of see where we're at from there.
yes.
Okay. Anything else on utility boxes?
That's it for utility boxes.
Okay. Art cart, Amanda, anything on this one?
We haven't met yet because,
You gonna sort through the cart first?
well, yeah.
Supplies?
So Raquel and I need to sort the cart, organize it. But I don't know if we're gonna get to that for a while.
That's-
It's not top priority or anything.
Right. Wait till at least it's spring. and-
Yeah,
At least till the snowstorms pass.
yes,
Yeah, right.
absolutely.
And
So no
then,
big updates right now. I think we'll plan to still have it the same dates that we did last year with the music in the park.
Yeah.
And then a few others.
perfect. Art party, is this what we're calling the paint and sip now? I was seeing paint and sip in the minutes, I'm like, paint and sip? Are we still, I have that, we're calling it art party.
Is it
Or is
art
it
night?
art
I had art night.
Yeah, it's,
We keep changing it.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's terrible for our branding.
Art
But
night
We're doing our best. I think art night.
Yeah.
with an exclamation point?
Yeah, you know me and exclamation points.
An NITE, I think feels right.
Yeah?
We don't like GH.
No, okay.
Oh,
Art
baby,
night.
don't kill me.
Okay, any updates on this one?
We met.
You met? Great. Carey, you're on a lot of sub-teams
You
here.
Are you gonna kick me off?
No, but if, hey, it's great if you want to do it. I just want to make sure you're not overstressing yourself.
Too late for that.
Okay, so nothing new here.
I'm
So-
sorry, there is a lot new.
Oh,
Are you gonna hop in?
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I might forget.
I'll hop in.
Okay. Well, we are looking at having the event 6 times this year,
okay,
running from May to
Jordan scheduled.
I
October,
think the last one would be in November.
November.
There's like a 3-month gap
Yeah, yeah.
between October and I don't remember the other month. You get
Six,
whatever you-
6 times
Yeah.
between May and October.
There we
One
go.
a month, not each month, is what Jordan was referring to there. And we are going to have it on the 3rd Thursday when it is, so that we can kind of get more of a regular schedule going and have the community kind of expect that timing. We are going to go ahead and, well, can I even say that yet? Who we're going
Oh,
with?
maybe not, yeah.
We are contacting some artists,
okay.
and Carey and I are looking into opportunities for different types of activities.
Oh, yeah.
Mix it
great.
up, mix
Yeah,
it
I
up a
thought
little.
we talked
Yeah.
about that before. Yeah, that's great.
Is music in the park, it's gonna be simultaneous with that?
No, Music in the Park was for Art Cart.
Oh, okay.
This is,
We'll skip art night on Music in the Park months. Does that make sense? So it'll be art night, art night, art night, Music in the Park, Music in the Park, art night, art night.
Okay,
Each of the month. These are months.
I understood, oh, no, I understood that, because I
Okay.
was saying, well, they're probably gonna skip July, but we
Yeah.
still, I thought there'd still be overlapping, but no, I got it.
I think Jordyn has us scheduled correctly. I trust.
It's on the event schedule as TBD.
Is it?
Yep. Six nights.
Yes.
Oh, there it is, TBD, 6:30, yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic.
But I think that had to do with availability of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think I added this to the packet after or before I made the schedule.
Okay.
I scheduled Casey Building, so
Okay.
for the next one it'll be changed.
Perfect.
Okay, and then Autumn Arts Festival. So I saw something that there was a request that there be a subcommittee for this?
Yes? Ava would like us to potentially help out with some of the planning, as it's a large event.
Okay,
I have worked with Ava since our last meeting to start reaching out to previous vendors and getting them scheduled.
okay.
And from what my reach out, I did have a couple vendors reply, so I know they have started booking. I don't know how many we have yet.
Oh,
So far, I've just contacted the ones that we've had in the last 2 years. I'll reach out to others going forward. But yeah, she wanted, I don't know what else she would have for us to do, but
yeah, I mean, we're happy to help, right?
Right.
Started out where we did everything, and then all of a sudden we did nothing. So we're just waiting on Ava then for direction, or?
I think so. I've got my direction with the vendors.
Oh, you, okay.
I don't know if she needs, what else she needs.
Okay. So we'll just, do you want to take that back to Ava, Jordyn, just to say, hey, whatever she needs from us, that Amanda and I are the subcommittee for this, so happy to help. Okay.
Can we also, for the next meeting, and I might just even talk to Ava before the next meeting, but can you come with an update on if any changes have been made between this meeting and next one? Yeah. Thanks.
And then also, so did everyone get the email about the recommending performers for the thing? So is everybody clear on,
That might have just been to the three of us.
okay, was it?
Or did you get,
Well, I thought she sent the sign up, the Google Doc or whatever, where people could make
Did that go to everyone?
recommendations. Did you get that email?
I did get yes, where we were supposed to make suggestions.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so we can make suggestions on performers, and then I think that must be the same with the makers as well then, right? We can make suggestions, but
Well, and makers, that's them applying to us.
right.
So I
Okay.
think that's the other way around, since we
Okay.
aren't paying them.
But there's still some selection that happens with them. Right?
Yeah, that's with city staff and not with us.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so, but nevertheless, if we have any recommendations for this or any other Autumn Arts Festival, we can make recommendations to staff, and then they will make the final selections and coordination with those artists.
If they don't want any suggestions in the category, they don't, just ignore us.
What?
They'll just ignore us if we've suggested something and they're like, we didn't want these kinds of suggestions. So,
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why
Yeah.
Tom's sending this, whatever.
We're powerless.
No, Tom, no clowns.
So I think we all should just, if we've got reasonable suggestions,
Yeah.
put them out there to help make the
Yeah.
job easier in finding people for the Autumn Arts Festival.
Yeah. Anything else on that, do you think, Amanda, for now?
I don't think so.
Okay. So Asian Night is what we're tentatively calling this. This was our final,
Are we?
this is the other event type thing. Any further thoughts on that? And we don't have anybody on a subcommittee on that.
We don't.
So I don't know if we wanted to, if anyone wanted to kind of take the lead on this thing, or? placeholder project. Is that what that is, placeholder project? Commissioner Black noted she would like to see this project be more related to culture.
Yes.
Okay. Thoughts? I feel like we're kind of stumped on this one.
Yeah.
Take it as homework.
I'd like to have our full commission here.
Yeah. Well, and I think, one of the things was, so a couple of notes I have on this, something small in 2025 as part of another event. So I think the question would be like, okay, well, like what other event could we tag on to potentially with this?
And now I'm not sure if Ava wants it as part of another event,
Ah, okay.
because I think it's been listed separately
Oh,
in things.
I thought she had said she did wanted it to be. It's listed separately in here.
Yeah. I think it's on that top section.
Seems like it would be perfect with Booyah Day. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, Arts and Culture Commission event placeholder.
Yes, okay. Well, we can table it and bring ideas in March, but I think we gotta, think about, what.
I don't think it can be a spring event, and I know she doesn't, Ava would prefer it not be summer because
Right.
of all the other events. So I think at this point, it's definitely into October, November.
And so
whatever
if-
it is.
If we had a building like a community center, for example,
That'd be wonderful.
that'd be great, a great place to host something like that.
Yeah, a nice spacious
Big open
area
space,
to
yeah,
open up during the colder months, yeah,
during the colder months, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, anything else on that?
No.
I also have this little thing hanging out there on the plan for 2025, a free little art gallery.
Because I really want to do it, but I don't mentally think I'm there.
Okay,
Like, I don't think I have the capacity.
we want to hold on that one?
I think it's a great idea.
When we have something like that, I mark it blue, because it's putting it on ice for now. Doesn't mean it's off the table, it's just on hold. Okay, so the Asian night or whatever that thing is, so homework between now and our next meeting is to think more deeply about that and what that could possibly be. Okay, so let's get back, so those are our subcommittee updates, so we're looking at reports from staff. So Jordyn, is this you're gonna walk us through the events calendar?
No, I just looked at this. This is what it used to be like on other packets, so I'm assuming that's how it is. If you guys want it to be in a different spot, let me know.
What,
The-
what?
The,
The events planner calendar just used to be under the.
Oh, that one.
yeah, just as like a reference.
Ah, yeah.
I personally love it. I think it's helpful.
This
Same.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too, yeah.
And like the events calendar, the big orange one, like this one is something that Ava's working on and like it's constantly changing, so.
Ah, I see.
These aren't necessarily like dead set things all on here, from my understanding.
So this is really that's set in stone so far,
Yes.
more or less. Okay.
Yeah, this one, the event planner, schedule planner is more, yeah, it's all arts.
And
We
then,
should plan to be at Big Truck Night on June
yeah,
13th.
because we usually have the
The art cart.
art cart there.
And then, do we know when the parade is? I'm assuming
Well, what's on the schedule here?
there will be a parade.
Fall
Well,
Roundup Parade is TBD.
and that's because it's not a city thing anymore, right?
It says
Didn't
not
that
a
just
city
change-
event.
Didn't that just change last
it?
year?
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
there was all the hubbub about it.
The Business Association
Okay.
I missed
handles
it.
that.
Yeah.
Are we thinking, well, I guess no one knows. Okay, great.
I can't remember, but it seemed like it was always really close to the,
Final
It's-
car show.
Yeah.
and
It's like
the,
Final Car Show, or, yeah,
which is also really close to the Autumn Arts Festival.
exactly, yeah.
Which is really close to the start of school.
Yep,
Everything else.
and the St. Peter Festival.
Real jam right there in September.
Yeah.
I think.
September, October, homecoming.
Try to jam all the events in before it gets too
Right.
cold, because we don't have anywhere to do cold.
It's all circular.
Okay, anything else then on the events calendar?
No, I do have one thing that Ava wanted me to run by you guys, the Project Snowy cards.
Oh, yeah.
She was wondering, or she thought maybe it would be a good idea to give them out at the card show and put them in little like envelopes so they're like kind of surprised, like a Pokemon card, so you don't know what you're getting and make it maybe a little more collectible.
Yeah.
So just wanted to run
Well,
that by.
the perfect thing for the big truck night, the car show where we're there with the art cart to hand those things out.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the envelope thing, you mean like there would be one in an envelope, or how many?
I think that's what she meant, but I could double check with her just to make sure if it's like gonna be like a pack or not. But I think she was thinking just one.
Can you look at envelopes and what that would cost?
Yeah, I can do that.
I also have a little bit of trauma memory with Pokemon cards, because my kids, every time we walked into Target, they're screaming for them damn Pokemon cards. You know how many hundreds of dollars?
I'm going through it right now.
Oh my God.
It's the
It was a nightmare.
milestone.
And they get the thing, rip it open, flip through it, and then start crying if they didn't get any of the special ones.
My son knows exactly which ones he has. He has like 400, and he'll look at a Pokemon card. Yep, I got that. Oh, I don't have this one. How do you know?
I know, my son does have, he's got like a
He still has his binder?
picture book, binder that's filled with like the special cards or something. I don't know if it's worth
I'll
it.
take them off your hands if you sell them on eBay.
I'm hoping that someday I can. I
looked
took
at
them
one,
all.
They really weren't worth anything. It was so disappointing.
One time when they were kind of over the peak of the Pokemon card hysteria, and we took, I don't know, 500 cards to that, game store. I don't know if it's still in that strip mall by Target,
yeah. Level up.
Yeah, and we sold however many cards and we got like 50 cents or something. And I just said, kids, here's some quick math on this. So for those cards, if you take this many hundred divided by 10 in each bag or whatever, and then it's like that by $4.39 a pack. Here's how much your old man spent on those cards, and here's how much we got in return on it.
I bet you were
What
popular
about the
back then.
joy that they got?
There was no joy, though. There was rare joy. That's the thing.
Okay.
Only joy if they got
He
one of the
only
special
remembers
ones.
the bad moments of
I do.
Pokemon.
I know. I'm
Jordyn, don't bring up the envelopes again.
Just don't say Pokemon cards. Say baseball cards or something.
Can we put a piece of bubble gum in there? No, sorry, that's too
Yeah,
much.
oh, that's a good idea.
Too much. Too far.
Is it?
Allergies.
That will
Thank
be
you,
our thing we
Jordyn.
can do this year at the car show, because last year we
Yes.
were taking photos. So this year we can pass out.
Well, what if we had like
Always.
I always loved when they had the fish pond at those things where they just pull over and they pull out
Oh, we could do that,
or
easy.
something.
Yeah.
Just so we're not just handing them to kids.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing some
They,
kind
they
of
throw their thing in the art cart. Paper, or what is that thing that you hang laundry on?
Clothespin.
Clothespin. Clothespin it on there.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Done. Let's get some clothespins
We'll
in our
make it-
budget.
I'd be shocked
Hold on,
if
we
there are
might have
not
some in the art cart.
clothespins in that. thing. The last time I was in that art cart, I'm like, holy cow,
Yeah.
it is packed with stuff.
I do have 3,000 binder clips at the office, so I can help us out.
Great.
Yeah.
Budget updates. Have we spent anything yet?
I don't think
Doesn't look
so.
like it.
No. We're planning,
It's all there.
and it's all gonna just go.
What did we have in mind for branding and communication this year?
I wonder if it was just, we wanted something.
Yeah.
Well, if we end up doing the parade or something, we'll need to buy
Yeah.
whatever.
You need a lot of candy.
You do.
But, we could, even if we had like an unveiling of something, like how we unveiled the Snowies.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, where we'd use something like that. Maybe we unveil the mural at the Historical Society or something.
Well, I think Didn't the idea arise from the snowy cards because that was
Oh.
a branding thing?
Yeah,
And so we'll be doing that. Now it sounds like at the truck night. And so now if we're gonna do some other branding at the parade.
yeah. So we could do more cards or something different at the parade, branding wise.
Yeah,
I don't remember how many of those cards we bought.
I think it's 1,000.
There's a lot.
800 or 1,000, something like that.
But we have a lot of events coming up. I mean, we've got art night, we've got the paint, art,
You know,
music in the park, you know, we got a lot of stuff we can.
and I was just gonna say, so this is not on our agenda anymore because it's not a topic typically, but Project Snowy. So our former mayor reached out to me and said, hey, can someone still get a Snowy made? I said, yeah, they still got the mold. I mean, if somebody just wants to do one. And I said, do you know somebody that wants to do one? He said, well, no, he was just thinking more of a general around two. And I'm like, oof, it's an awful lot of.
Thank you for the oof.
It's a lot of effort for that. So I think, I wanted to bring it up, though, and I think my feeling is that if there's another business that is interested, that we can help facilitate that.
I do know that there was a lot of people we got asked after we were done with Project Snowy if they could still get one.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah, like immediately. And my response then, especially since I was in like snowy hangover,
Yeah,
was if there were at least 10 businesses interested, then we could do a second round, because
Oh.
then we could afford with the molding and the whole process,
yeah,
then we could do it. But if there's just one or two, then we can connect them to the shop to get a snowy, but I think it's gonna be different than the 5,000. The cost would be much more to do just one, because we got like a bulk discount.
okay. So, yeah, so you think it's, but 10, you think we would need to have?
We had 8 last time.
Did we do 8?
I mean, if you
thought it was
take a
6.
whole pack of Pokemon cards and look at the cost per card, it's quite expensive.
Well, maybe it could be a possible Project Snowy-ish project in the future.
Maybe 10-year anniversary.
Something
Or-
down the road,
Or
because
even like 3?
you don't even want to wear it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And right now, people are still excited about the original 8, so
How
I'm
about-
like, let's celebrate that.
yeah. Like this year, I think is too soon to just, you know, you can't just like every, oh, yeah, we're gonna do it, you know, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Last meeting, you were talking about our new student commissioner and projects that he wanted to do, which made me think of doing snowy flags for residents. So it could be like a much smaller snowy project, but if we give these garden flags that we can give for people to color themselves, it's something that could be looked into.
Okay.
Residents would then buy it from the city. Actually, I have a question about that. It's not really on here. Not just for arts and culture, so like the paint night, when people pay to come, with our vendors at the Arts Festival, even the Parks Building, when people pay, where does that money go? Because, Jordyn, I know you're new and you probably don't know. Maybe somebody else up here does. But the money we get, because I was thinking about it with paint night specifically, looking at what artists we could afford to come in. The money that people are paying to attend, can we not use that money to pay the artists?
You mean rather than have it as a budgeted item?
No, more like can it be on top of the budget? So the city's paying a portion, but also people who attend are paying a portion.
Because do you think the artists, we would have more artists available if they were paid more?
Yes.
Well, as far as I know, any of that money just goes into the general fund, anything that
Okay.
comes in.
So even like the park stuff, when people rent a building, it just goes in the
Parks
general?
is different, I think. They've always been a little,
Can we be like parks?
I don't know. Maybe. But
There have to be, there's new
Yeah.
rules established because.
Yeah, it was my
when we start
question.
Talking about money and those type of appropriations, then there's gonna have to be some formality that,
Right.
and so what I hear you saying though is, can we have some type of project where we bring in money and we get to keep and use that money? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just wondering what, because it's not like the city is for profit, right?
Right.
Right.
So when we bring that money in, the city is already budgeted for the year, so is that money included in their minds of the money that is coming in? Does this make sense, what I'm
I
saying?
hear what you're saying, so, I'll ask the council member, was that something that was considered when, or maybe is that something that's considered that, oh, I see, we normally have this event in the city and it brings in X number of dollars. That's going to be part of our coffers for 2025.
Yeah, I don't think they count on that type of revenue.
Yeah, because it's so.
It's
it
minuscule.
fluctuates, So they can't count on, 10 people, 100 people, 15 people showing up.
Yeah.
And so it's, you can't say the city's gonna make $150 or,
Right.
you know.
But in effect, it ends up,
It
you could say
adds.
it ends up going into helping to cover our budget for the next year, you know, so, I mean, we don't take in that much money in a year.
Yeah.
Whatever we collect of the Arts Commission, but the Parks actually has a whole separate dedicated fund. They have the Parks Fund, and they take in money in different ways.
I can talk to Dan Winnick, the city finance manager, and just see, could the money that's brought in from these events be earmarked at least for, in 2025, be earmarked for 2026 Arts and
Yeah.
Culture Commission events, things like that.
It was a question I had a lot, starting with the festival too, is the money that vendors paid us, I thought we could use for the event to bring in the activities that we were doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I
curious.
think it's one of those complicated accounting things where it has to
Oh, my God.
cycle through and, this has to only be for this specific pocket, and then this
Yeah.
comes in and has to sit there. And then if no one else has a refund or anything, then you can use, the rules are insane.
And finance, the way that they do math and stuff, it's like a secret.
It's a
cabal.
secret society.
Yeah,
It's
they-
a cult.
People,
The
no one else
society
gets to know about.
Of city
how the math works.
accounting.
No.
Money is a concept.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Sorry, side.
So, no, it's but
That's a
I,
great
but,
question, though, 'cause
question.
that's
But I
something
think-
that I've wondered too, and I'm still frustrated that we can't do more fundraising, because I see what the parks do with their pavers and benches and support a tree and yada yada, and it'd be great to have something where we could, if we sell these flags or, mark them up a slight bit, so we can have some slush fund for other projects, like an Asian night market or whatever it is we're gonna do.
But at the same time, I mean, because I'm hearing a couple different things. So, because from Amanda, I think what you're saying is like, can we use the cover charge for an art night to just go to the artist? So that's additional money on top of whatever we pay. So if more people come to do art night with that artist, and that maybe incentivizes that artist to get more people
Yeah.
to show up too, then that artist makes more money. It's like a band playing at a bar,
getting
and we
a
split the
percentage
house.
of the cover.
Right, yeah. And so then they would get more money that way. And so I think that makes sense, and maybe that's doable, even this year, because I don't think any of that revenue that would be generated from having the art nights is earmarked for anything. I mean, the
Right.
city's not counting on that money.
Right,
So if we were to say, hey, we wanted to use some of that to tack on to help pay the cost of the artist, and then, so if you had an artist that costs more, we could say, well, we can pay you this much, but you could potentially make more based on how many people show up, right? But the other side of it, having money available for us, I mean, as it's been so far, we haven't had any problem with that. I mean, our biggest problem is spending what we
yeah,
have.
yeah, that's true.
So I think, and I think that any of that money, like, so when we have an event that we're involved in, like the autumn arts festival and whatever, the makers or whatever, any income that comes from that. In effect, that's just helping to fund it the next year. So,
With the paint night, would we ever facilitate having an artist, maybe this is a question for us to talk about subcommittee-wise, but have the artist and let the artist take care of registrations on their end? And we're just kind of providing the building and the space for this? I don't know if there's legal things with
I
that.
would doubt it. I mean, the time that we had a call for artists on a Google form, that was, I thought, not perceived kindly.
what do you, I'm not following.
I think everything has to run through the government system so that they can track, even when we do surveys, it has to be through the city website. And, you know, I love many things about the city, and our website is not one of them. It is incredibly difficult to navigate and manage. And I think that that's a real barrier for people that want to participate in our events and activities. I think that's probably why we don't have more people applying to be on our commissions, maybe students, because I think it's not user-friendly.
Agreed.
But I've tried to fight that fight and not been successful.
I think that some artists that I've spoken to typically run their own registrations, and they have a facility that they run these workshops out of. And they're private, probably businesses that are doing this, not
Sure.
government organizations. But it's another option that might get us the artists that we can't afford, but then they can charge a higher rate on their own.
I
I
mean,
think, well, when something like that happened, is they would rent the rec center at the Casey, and they would just handle it all. It wouldn't have anything to
Right.
do with us,
Sure.
because it would be out of their own LLC or however they set up their art studio.
Yeah, and so I suppose an artist could do that,
Yeah.
right? Anybody could rent the Casey Park building and then decide to host a thing that they charged admission for, I think, maybe? That there might be rules about that with renting the spaces, but I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Good discussion, though. That's it for the topics. Now we're on to reports from commissioners. Amanda, you got anything else?
No, I'm done.
Carey, anything?
just thanks to Tom for being in misery, and thanks to everyone for joining us in a fun night out last Friday. I'm sorry, Troy and Jordyn, that was before your time, that we scheduled that, but that was a lot of fun. Thanks, Tom. Also had a really great interview with a candidate for commission today. That was wonderful. And if you're really needing something to do during the snowstorm, it's Rock the North this weekend. So you can
Yes.
come see Polar Drift perform at 9:30, or see Northern Lights perform at 4:30. So very exciting.
Is Benicio in the combo?
He is, yeah,
serves in
he
the
plays
combo
drums.
and Polar Drift. Okay,
yep.
great. Sharon, you have anything?
No, I do not.
Okay, and thanks to almost all the Arts Commission for coming to see Misery at Lakeshore Players in White Bear Lake, playing for one more weekend. But it was great to see you all there. I appreciated that. And I'm going to be around more and available more. Boy, I'm getting old to be in a play and have a full-time job. It's a lot of work. So I'll be happy to have some time back. But I don't have anything else for now. So now we'll turn to our new council liaison, Troy. Any updates?
No, not really. The only things I have are, I think 2 weeks ago, we had coffee with the new commissioners at Sweetie's downtown. And it was myself, new commissioner, or city council member, Dave and Mackenzie, and the mayor were there. We had several people show up. Some good discussion, some discussion about like the Autumn Arts Festival and opportunities for local businesses. There's some discussion about, could it be downtown, things like that. We've talked to Ava. Ava was there as well.
good.
Talked to Ava about it. She talked about, there's some discussion about the website updates and things like that, and also discussion about the newsletter that comes out, which is now currently electronic. used to come out with your utility bill, and so there's some concern about, availability to some of the more homebound residents.
Oh,
So.
that discussion's coming back about possibly having a paper newsletter again?
Yes.
Interesting. What was the discussion around the Autumn Arts Festival and moving downtown? Where did that emanate from?
It came from several of the businesses brought up the point of, it would be nice to have the, events like that where they can. Some events don't make sense to have downtown. But events like the Autumn Arts Festival, could we shut down 7th Street and potentially set up the vendors and things on 7th Street? And then that would encourage everybody who comes to the Autumn Arts Festival to stop in at Sweeties or stop in at, the local businesses. And one of the not concerns, but one of the things that was brought up was like the coffee shop at the back of Sweeties. Flyby Coffee. A lot of people don't know that it's there. And so they're trying to get, how do they advertise that? How do they get that out? And so if it's not downtown, they talk to Ava about the possibility of having their own tent out there to help, promote their businesses. So could local businesses, where it makes sense, have a tent or a booth at the Autumn Arts Festival or at some of the events to say, hey, we're here, next time you're downtown, stop and visit us.
Yeah. Well, we had pitched the idea to the city 2 or 3 years ago about having the Autumn Arts Festival be downtown.
Yep.
And that didn't get very far at that time. But I think part of the thing was we were very new and very small when we first started, and I think it's been growing. So I think if we can continue to have good success with the Autumn Arts Festival at Casey, I think we'd be open to having an event that would be downtown. I think it would be perfect to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you can do the car show, you can do the Autumn Arts.
right, absolutely.
I think it would be beautiful, and I will say this because I feel like I've had it in my head for years, and I will keep saying it, to have that September weekend be just like a North St. Paul Pride celebration weekend. You have the parade, and then the car show, and then the Autumn Arts Festival that same weekend, and it's just craziness.
That sounds great.
The place I grew up in Lakeville, Minnesota, we had Panaprog every year.
Oh, I love Panaprog.
Panaprog was just the same thing. We had car shows on Friday nights. We had a parade on Saturday or something, and fireworks. It was exciting.
And just do the parade right there that weekend, right?
Shut down the street for the
on
same.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So Thursday would be the parade, Friday would be the car show, and Saturday would be the Autumn Arts Festival. That would make perfect sense to have it all at once, and it wouldn't conflict with people going up to their cabin or whatever. Everybody
Right.
know, okay, it's this
This-
second
this
weekend
one
in
weekend.
September.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're staying home, we're all gonna,
It might be a
neighbors down.
logistics headache because all three are organized by separate entities now. But that's not for me to figure out.
Right.
We've overcome worse.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also shutting down 7th Street, for any section, potentially 3 nights in a row.
Right.
Might be a little bit of a logistics concern.
well, how do other cities do that, like Excelsior and stuff like that, or Uptown Art Fest, and it's more than one day, and it's
Yes.
blocking
Yep.
off the streets.
Excelsior Art Fair is an excellent example of it, and that's an art fair that I've done the last 5 years. And as artists, we're allowed to set up on Friday, so the road is shut down by Friday and marked for where we can put our tents. So we set up Friday evening, Saturday all day we're there, Sunday all day we're there, and we tear down Sunday, and they get their street back Sunday night.
Love it.
So it happens.
So if that's the only time of the year, other than Friday nights, but that's been forever, Friday nights in the summer,
Yeah.
that's a known entity. If it's only once a year, we're blocking off the road for 3 days. But then the businesses are getting business because we're more people downtown than normally would be.
Yeah.
So it's a thought.
I love
Is a
that.
thought. Yep.
That'd be a great. I also want to hop in when you mentioned Flyby Coffee. Amanda and I had a meeting there the other day, and they have a gorgeous little area in the back, and she turned the lights on for us, and it was just the two of us, and we had our little, I had drinks, and we just met, and it was lovely. So shout out to any subcommittees looking for a place to meet. Highly recommend. Thanks, Troy, for letting me talk.
No problem.
I also wanted to mention, I looked at the newsletter today, and there's a button you can click within the newsletter if you want to get updates about what's happening with the community center.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I'll have to do that.
So if you want to get updates about what's happening with the community center, click that thing. All you got to do is put in your email and it's done.
Excellent. Are there any updates?
Last I heard, city manager and Riley met with the consulting company to start initial discussions about their assessments that they're going to do.
Well, so hope they come back with something good. All right. That's it. Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to
Sharon?
adjourn the meeting for tonight.
I'll second.
Carey, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned at 7:31 PM. Thank you, everybody.